Somebody didn't do their research.
Yeah, which is kind of weird because I feel like Degrassi is half trying to be educational.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it gave some misinformation. But whatever.
But why is she researching at school? What is with these people always doing like really personal research at school?
Fair, Alli could not research that at home.
That's true.
Because of her parents. I get that.
I mean,
but yeah.
I would go to a library before I would
at least
research
the library.
at school.
But I think it was like after hours. It was like after school. She was in the media immersion room.
Well, I mean, Jenna does go in there.
Yeah, that's true. And so then Jenna goes in and she's like, stop like WebMDing or whatever the Degrassi equivalent is. And she's like, I can go see a real doctor. And I was like, first piece of good advice from Jenna. Go to a real doctor.
Go to a real doctor. I'm like, why is Jenna the smartest person in this episode? What is happening? Also, is she the first person besides Danny to be like, you're being dumb, go see a doctor?
I think so.
My God. I wrote down her exact line because I was like, just shocked and thrilled by it. You need to stop scaring yourself and see a real doctor. Yeah. Which is a pretty good rule of thumb for all people.
For anything, if you think anything is wrong with you medically or health-wise. But then we're at home and Alli is like using a mirror to like see if she's affected in any way. And Sav knocks on the door. It's like, have you seen my mirror? I need to check the back of my hair. I'm like, all right. And then he sees that she's upset and he's like, what? Did mom and dad find out about your secret Teen Vogue subscription? To which I say, where is she sending those if it's a secret?
I have no idea. Also, why would they be against Teen Vogue?
I don't know. Fashion magazine it still has like maybe scantily clad models in the ads or something.
Yeah, because I mean, out of all, Teen Vogue now is very different than Teen Vogue used to be. Like, I would understand if they were like, in case they're conservative, would be weird about it now. I don't know. But Teen Vogue then was really just all fashion spreads.
It was pretty much all fashion spreads and like the tween of the moment on the cover. Like I think that was one of the first magazines I subscribed to, like after like American Girl magazine or something.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. I had Teen Vogue, and like I liked the pictures, and like because that's all there fucking were in Teen Vogue. But I think
even back then they probably had like articles that talked about like tough issues, which they might have seen as inappropriate.
I don't remember that because I remember distinctly being like, oh, there are almost no words in this.
No, there were. I think there were.
It's not like 17 or Cosmo though.
No.
It's a good fucking magazine. Don't get me wrong.
Magazine. I think there were more articles in it then. I think it was.
But I feel like of all the teen magazines, Teen Vogue is
definitely one of the best.
It was not very scandalous during the time.
No, it was. Yeah, it was definitely mostly fashion. But maybe they are like consumerism or something. Maybe. I don't know. And I think even teen fashion back then is probably still a little bit more risque to them for what they would want Alli to wear, because they want her to wear like sweatpants all day. Anyway, we're really harping about this Teen Vogue subscription.
That's fine.
But then Alli's like, why do boys lie? And then Sav was like, to hook up with you.
Which is very straightforward.
And he's like, or they don't want to hurt their feelings or something.
Which could also be true. It's usually the first one.
Yeah. And then she's like, are all guys complete idiots? And he's like, mostly, yeah. Which is also very good.
Sav is great in this scene.
Yeah. And he's being like a really good brother. He's like, do I need to beat up Johnny DeMarco? And she's like, no. He's like, all right, well, I would endure a beating from him because he like knows he wouldn't win. It's like, you wanted me to. And I'm like, oh, he's being nice.
He's a sweetie.
Yeah. But then...
also, Alli's wearing a weird robe during this. I forgot to mention that.
Like shiny green or something?
Yeah, it's a weird robe.
But then the next day or sometime, she and Jenna are at the doctor. And Alli is like, I'm such a slut. I can't believe this is happening to me. And Jenna's like, no, you're not a slut. Like, don't call yourself that. Like, this isn't your fault. Blah, blah, blah.
And she's like, and also just because you get something doesn't make you a slut. It just makes you a person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenna is good in this episode. Really great this episode.
Jenna is good in like the first half of this episode.
Yeah. It goes real downhill.
But then she and Claire are like weirdly supportive of a terrible plan because they're still babies.
Just dumb little babies.
And she's like, oh, and then they're talking, and Alli's like, you can't tell Claire this. Like, you could never tell Claire. I'm like, Alli, Claire can be, like, kind of judgy about some things, but I feel like when it counts, Claire is actually really good and really supportive and a really good friend. I don't think you need to hide this from her.
I think Claire's initial reaction would be, like, involuntary judgment, though, just, like, based on... Because, like, she did it with KC, too. Like, it wasn't... It's just, like, ingrained in her. She would be a supportive, good friend, but I think her initial response, like, involuntarily, would be, like, judgment, and then she'd cover it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it also just would have made her hate Johnny DeMarco even more.
Yeah.
Which is
valid.
Understandable. But then we're with Peter... And he bought a fucking van to be like, hey, guys, you can put your stuff in the van that I just bought on my own volition, sure.
If we know anything about Peter, it's that he tries to smooth stuff over with, like, purchases.
He just throws money at it.
He throws money at that
problem.
Bought
a van to get his friends back. That's what my note says.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool, thanks, dude.
And he, like, mentions, like, getting it from a dealer. And I'm like, dealer is the wrong choice of word.
And he's like, a car dealer, guys.
Which, like, I mean, fucking duh. How dumb are studes that they're like, you got this from a drug dealer? Because they all give him a look.
Well, he says, the dealer gave me a really good deal. And he's like, the used car salesman dealer. Come on. Which is, I thought that was fair to be like, yeah, that's a normal word to say in that sentence, guys.
Yeah, because studes are fucking dummies. But yeah, Peter's super tryhard as per usual.
Yeah. But then we're with the doctor, and they're talking about HPV and she's like, she did all these tests, and she's like, there were no symptoms. I think it's looking really good. I think it's a good chance you don't have anything, but we'll, like, check back on the pap smear results to be safe, but I think you're okay. Regardless, I think you should get the HPV vaccination. And Jenna's like, oh, yeah, I got that. I had to do it at my old school or something like that.
Which is a really good idea.
And Alli is, oh, yeah. Well, she says, you should get this vaccination. And Alli's like, I'm never having sex again. And Jenna literally laughs and is like, I mean, it's probably still good if you get it, though. And she's like, all right, I need more information.
And then we find out that apparently she needs her parents' permission to get it, which I feel like is weird. I didn't know that was a thing, because that's what she says.
That's a medical procedure, and she's underage. I think you need your parents' permission to get a vaccination when you're like 15.
Really?
Yeah, pretty
it's
sure.
Weird. It's just gonna help you, though. I don't know.
Well, that's why there's all these weird, why there's all those weird cases with. I'm just thinking back to this Grey's Anatomy episode when parents have weird religious affiliations.
Oh, yeah. The one where he couldn't get blood?
Or the one where he couldn't be operated on, or I don't know, whatever. Where their religion, like, prevents them from using, like, hospital care or something, and they're like, the Lord will save him if it's meant to be.
Oh yeah, I remember
and
that.
And they're allowed to do that. So
they had 2 of those episodes. They had that one, and they also had the one
kid
where
who kept like taking the train to the hospital by himself,
and Alex Krev kept helping him. You guys, Grace comes back in like a week.
It comes back on Thursday.
I'm so excited.
But anyway, so you definitely need your parents' permission while you're still a minor to do anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I know I got my HPV vaccination probably in high school or around then.
Yeah, I was in high school or middle school.
I needed but my mom probably needed to like sign something for it.
Oh yeah,
but my mom was like, "You're getting this."
I got it at my pediatrician's office.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I'm like, but then I'm just like, yes, get this vaccination. It's very important. But Johnny doesn't have HPV.
Seriously. That's not how that works.
It's not how it works. But then I think it's the next day, and Alli is like, I wish I could get back at him.
And she's like talking to Jenna and also like blowing off Claire. She's like, you wouldn't understand.
And Jenna's like, what if everybody knew about this? What if Johnny told everybody about this? And she's like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, this is a terrible idea.
It's a terrible idea. And then Mr. Simpson comes in and interrupts them and yells, clam up, which I thought was really funny.
But then we're at like this music showcase, and Peter walks over to Jane and hands her a goddamn tambourine. And he's like, I mean, I'm back now. You can do the tambourine. And I'm just like, oh, Peter.
Peter's a dick.
You're so stupid.
He's just the worst. He's so dumb. And then he's also like, it looked sexy when Mia did it. And Jane just goes, is that right?
Yeah, it was stupid.
He's forever gun jumping.
But then Jenna finds Johnny. Is he like sweeping or mopping? What is he doing?
I think this is his music detention. Okay. I think he still has music detention.
And then, and then Claire finds out, or I don't know, or maybe it's right before this.
It's right before Claire finds out. And Claire has a real good, like, gray area for her moral compass. She's like, she's like, what are you guys doing? And Alli's like, we're getting back at him. Like, I think she, like, tells her that they're, like, Johnny lied to her about having, like, multiple partners or something. And it's like, oh, yeah, that makes Claire hate him even more. And she's like, yeah, we should get back at him. And I'm like, Claire, why are you supporting this? This is a terrible idea. It's a bad idea.
But this is where it's like, oh, they're all, like, 14, 15. They're making poor choices because they think revenge is, like, the best.
They're dumb as hell.
They're channeling John Tucker Must Die, and it's probably a bad example set by that movie.
Yeah, it's not a good call, guys.
Let's
like, not try to defeat people with trickery.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, they're all children. Like, even Johnny DeMarco is a child, and he's dumb.
They're
like,
all stupid.
Just everybody stay in your fucking lane and, like, live your life. Just let it go.
But then we're with Peter, and he's like, so, like, I'm back now, guys, so Jane doesn't need to be here, right? And they're like, no, she's singing with us now. Like, you had a freak out. Like, we know you're getting through it, but she's in the band now. Also, we're not called Stoods anymore. And Peter,
and my initial response to they're not Stoods anymore was like, oh, good, a good name. I bet it's going to be a good name. I was wrong. Degrassi like, tricked me.
It's Jane and the Studs?
No, it's Janie and the Studs.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's terrible. I miss when they were Stoods.
And I'm just like, Peter's just like, and I'm like, oh no, are you finally suffering some consequences for your actions for the first time in your entire life? Oh no.
But also, like, they're a better band now. Although
they'd sing that Good Time song.
They only have one
only
song.
Have that song. So then Jenna walks into Johnny DeMarco's, like, music detention or whatever, and she says something like, oh, I've been noticing you, or I've been seeing you around, and you look good, or something like that.
And he said your eyes work good.
Yeah.
Which is a good line.
And then it comes back to the band. I don't know. It doesn't matter if we cut back to the band. I just wrote down a note about Jane's cuff. And then Jenna
is a terrible flirter.
And she's like, want to make it hot in here? And I was like, ugh.
I hate it. It's so uncomfortable.
It's really awkward.
A goddamn nightmare.
And then she's like throwing herself at him, and she's like, I mean, you're not with Alli anymore, right? And he's like, yeah, you know, Alli, it's like, she's the only girl I want to be. Oh, yeah. Also, she has a microphone on and everybody can hear it.
She's mic'd.
That's the plan.
And she's trying, and, like, they somehow, like, rigged it so that it's now playing into the room. But for some reason, it's playing into the next room, and he can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even though the door's open? I don't know. It's unclear. But also she's like, why? Is there some kind of medical reason that you can't sleep with me? Which is like...
subtle.
Cool.
And he's like, it's because I, like Bandar is the only girl I want to be with. And then the whole room, like, goes like, oh, so cute.
And that he hears, but he doesn't hear his own voice being, like, projected throughout the room.
And then he runs into the next room and, like, sees what's happening. And he's like, what is happening? Like, and then Alli's like, I didn't think you were going to see that or say that. And it's all like, oh, my God, what happened? But, yeah, then I think that's the end of that scene.
Pretty much. It's a real awkward nightmare.
And then we're with Peter and the band.
Well, no, it's just him. He's getting out of his van, and Danny comes over.
Right.
And that van is, like, actually way better than his dumb convertible.
Yeah.
It's a good call. I mean, it's a dumb car, but it's, like, a car that makes way more sense for, like, a teenage boy than, like, a periwinkle convertible.
Yeah, definitely. And then Danny is like, you can be our roadie, essentially. And
but he's basically like,